Hi, have you had those moments in life where you want to start a new project? You maybe want to go draw, write a book, do something that you haven't done for a while, or do something completely new. And then, in just a matter of seconds, you find yourself back to eating, watching TV, playing games, being on your phone, and that activity that you were just passionate about, you were thinking, you were excited, just dropped and disappeared, and all of a sudden, like, back to the old life. So here's the thing. Usually, we know about like Mel Robbins' 5 second rule and how people don't start and how we behave. And there's a lot of science of how things work. But again, like we're sort of looking at the more spiritual aspect of is it happening? Like more of the reasons why and stuff. And a lot of you have heard about seven deadly sins, and one of them is lust. Now, lust, no, we're not talking about specifically about like sex and eating and stuff like that. It's just like minor things. But what I'm finding out about is that like all those seven deadly sins are actually fully conscious beings, like you, me, and everyone else who is conscious, who can identify with a body, who can like incarnate and do lots of things. They're out there, and these beings, like Slav, like basically they would just choose their form. They have their own personality, they have their own characteristics, and these beings, they're role playing. It's not like they're good or bad, or they specifically kill humanity or destroy this and that. No, no, no. They're simply have their role. They enjoy it. They're playing it. They're experiencing it. That's how they see it. And to specifically say this is their name, this is where they live, this is what they're doing, it's not a thing. Because let's say I saw these beings out there, and like for example, like I was working on a person today, and just like finding out about these beings just because I'm like doing these sessions, and like, hey, finally digging deeper, finding something new, it's great. And like it's really interesting because let's say we're gonna talk about like lust today, like this lustful being, this like deadly sin, for example. Now, um when you interact with this being, is basically first they're not gonna tell you the real name because they don't have one. They don't care about names. It's like names are for people who want labels and stuff. Out there, they're like most beings don't really give a damn. So this like lustful being is more like, hey, tell me what you need. What kind of name would you like to give me, and I'll satisfy you. And like it's basically like a lot of these urges and stuff. Like they're just like teasing you with what kind of name do you want this being to have, and what kind of looks do you want it to have. So like really, this interaction with being will depend on you, how you see things, how you like to be, how you are and stuff like that, like your personality or characteristics, like your traits and stuff, a lot of this. So what I'm seeing, there's like people who really want to do something in life, they want to get better, they want to finally like drop their activities, drop their laziness, drop their addictions, and finally start moving, finally, let's say, start working out, start doing like new things, find a job. And next thing you know, in a few minutes, seconds, they just drop all their things and just like feel like, I can't do it. I don't feel like it. Like this being is working on purely entertainment for itself. Like it's not she or he, because it shapeshifts. Like this being is like it's just consciousness, but then it will meet another person like you, for example, and depending on your needs, your likes, this being will shapeshift. So for me, it can appear as a guy, for you, it can appear as a girl or someone else, depending on what you like. Literally anyone, anything. And so this being scans us like it's pretty much like universal for the whole humanity, but it's not just humanity that's affected. That's the interesting part, because like this like lustful being is pretty much like playing not with earth, but like with the whole 3D universe. Like you're just like running all over the place. Whoever it can find, whoever it can mess with, it's just like the role of pure entertainment for it, but not like us, because we're more like suffering from it. And so now in this life we're more like, hey, let's do a new thing, let's go jogging, let's work out, let's create new things, let's make a video, let's write the book, let's do something. And finally we're choosing an activity that will sort of like kick us out of our comfort zone, that will have us do something new, that will have us get better, stronger. Next thing you know, we drop it. All of a sudden we sort of like, we had one goal, it's straight there, we're doing it, and in a few seconds, boom, back to what we were doing before, scrolling on our phones, eating pizza, watching TV, whatever it was. So with that thing, this being sort of connects to us, scans us completely, our needs, what we like, what we don't like. And it's all those lustful places. Like it's for humans, it's so easy to control us. It's just like look at our basic needs. You know, most people want sex. Most people want to sleep. Most people like want rest and food and all the stuff. All the basics. It's super easy. Out there with other races, some of them don't have these needs. And it's harder to rule them. But with us, so easy. Because like everything like is constructed in a way where we're just so like addicted to it. So now in this reality, we're messed, we're fucked, so to speak. And like this being comes to us. So I'm bringing this topic because having the awareness of this being messing with you will help you to deal with it. So now let's say finally you have an activity, you're getting out of your comfort zone, you're doing it. Next thing you know, you come back to your old habits and all of a sudden like, what just happened? How did I get here? And why am I not doing the thing I wanted to do? So your discouragement, you have to track it where it starts. What is it that gets you? Because like all these parts where they can push your buttons and control this. For example, like, hey, you're gonna finally do the workout or like call this person or do something important, finally do your job. And next thing you know, you're again like on the PC watching TV, maybe watching porn, whatever. So these activities where you have a goal and you notice the shift. You have to notice where do you shift? Where does the shift happens? Where you have the interest, you have the mood, you're gonna do it. Next thing you know, another person comes in, you start having conversation, and you're completely lost and you forget this project, and all of a sudden, like, I wish I would have done it, but I'm not feeling it. The thing is, we're never gonna feel it. We're gonna be freaking lucky if that's just like a motivation and passion comes in when like, oh, when the right time comes, I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna come. That perfect timing that most people are waiting for to write to this person, to start a relationship, to, like, hey, she's such a beautiful girl and I love her. And I just wish I could tell her how I feel about it, but I'm going to wait for the right time. You're going to wait forever. The right time is not going to come because like, it's always something else coming in, always someone else writing to you, messing with you, like to maybe writing to the other girl that you want to write to and stuff. So like all these variations of you wanted to get a relationship, you wanted to get a job, you wanted to get a new house, all these things. We're waiting for the perfect time and it's just not going to come. And it's so easy for these beings because they see us and we're like, we want to do it, but we're not going to do it because we're like kind of like this generation. I'm not talking specifically about like just the kids or just me and stuff. Everyone's probably like on Earth right now is kind of getting on that level where we're becoming this weaker. It kind of like, like harder to confront things, harder to be stable in this world. And it's not just our fault. We look at the way things are in the world right now with COVID, with all the suppression, with the new world order, with all these things. We're feeling like, you're like, oh shit, I want to express myself, but I don't feel like I can do it. And I want to say this thing, but I'm gonna get hit if I do it and stuff like that. So like people want to do it and then they stop themselves. Wanna and stop, want and stop. So it's called constantly like sort of like fighting this massive wall, and this massive wall just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're like, oh shit, I just gonna stay at home, see what happens. And we're like stuck in this place. So it's really important to get out of our comfort zone because that's where it's so easy to control us. If we're like, we want to do something, we know it's important and it's going to be life changing, but we're like, I'm afraid, I don't know, I don't feel like it. Like, for example, my grandma, I haven't talked to her in a while. I should call her. But oh shit, last time we talked, she gave me some shit. I don't know. And that's it, like for example, like smallest things. And we start like thinking about it and, just intention, do it. 5-second rule, like Mel Robbins, 5-second rule, look it up. If you act on like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act on it, you just like get out of your comfort zone, do it. That's it. Like there's this like saying that there's like the fear is like this massive mountain and your success is just behind it. So if you can go past the fear, if you can beat it, if you can challenge yourself, it's going to be hard as hell. It's not fun. It's not comfortable. Of course not going to be. But all the great things come there. Because like, let's say there's a girl or guy that you like, that you really, really want to talk to. And, like starting conversation, writing and like, what if they don't answer me? What if they don't call back? What if they don't like me? You're never going to know until you try. You're just assuming lots of shit. Your mind will go crazy, spinning all the worst case scenarios. You're not gonna be like, hey, what if she calls me back? Yeah, what if she likes me? What if we're gonna have a relationship? Fuck yeah. You're not hyping yourself up. You're more like, shit. If she doesn't reply, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to look like a stalker and stuff. So we have like lots of these things we want to do, and all of a sudden, like, you're just disappearing out of your life and stuff. So this sloth being I'm talking about, I mean like lustful being, whenever we have a goal, is going to try to distract us. It's going to try to bring us to our lustful zones. Lustful where we're going to go back into our usual comfort zones where we're eating, when we're feeling, where we have control. You have control over sex, or you have control over, you know, like watching whatever you're watching, eating whatever you're eating and stuff like that. This is where you're feeling powerful, like, oh yeah, this is good. And you're finally feeling good and like, hey, dopamine hits and you're finally relaxed and stuff. Everything's fine. But next day or a few hours later, you feel like shit because the thing you want to do most is still not there. And you're like every day pushing yourself, like, I just wanted, I really want it, but I just can't get it done. And you're like stuck with that fear, or like stuck to this, like, oh, I can't do anything because you're not acting. And that's the worst part. So here's the thing. We have to become aware of what is the stop. What is it exactly we want? And what happens when we're going for it? And where does that shift happens? What specifically we go for? Because all these little triggers, all these little details of, let's say, simple line, like from here to here, just straight line and you go there, right? But we go like, where's the line? You like, we just disappear with that thing. If we can go at it and notice all the issues we have, all these blocks, we go straight and there's this wall. We go behind the wall, there's another wall. There's another person, there's this and this and this. Each challenge in our way, if we're able to beat it somehow, just challenge ourselves and finally like kick ourselves in the ass. Really, just like we need that sometimes. Not by the dark guys to beat us up, but more like to push ourselves forward. Because right now, most people are stuck in this fear band. They are afraid and they're unable to do stuff. And they're assuming a lot of stuff that we don't know is right or not. And if we can move ourselves forward, just make that call, write that person, start writing. You just have to start. Push yourself and just like go to the gym. Just stand on the treadmill. Just lift the weights. And all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I'm not feeling like it. But you start lifting, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, like, hey, I'm feeling good. And you're lifting, and you're jogging, and you're running, and you're writing, and you're creative, and you're finally doing it. But you just have to start. And that's the hardest part. So like, I just want to urge you to sort of like start doing things. I don't know, look up Mel Robbins, look up what maybe some of those Tony Robbins, Tom Bilyeu, some of the people. Like the thing is, today we don't have to research things that much because most of it is already done for ourselves. We just have to find a mentor, someone like us, someone who already reached the goal that we want to go for. And that person already has the whole trail. You just have to sort of look at it, take the tips, all the things that they've used that you can apply to yourself, and all of a sudden your life will become easier. It's not super easy. It's not super easy. Like, hey, I'm just gonna do it and everything's gonna go smooth. No. You're gonna have plenty of challenges for sure, but it's worth it. At least it's worth trying. Otherwise, we're just gonna be sitting there every single day complaining, not being happy. And if you just challenge yourself, at least you'll be happier with yourself that at least you did something for it. At least you went for it. And you know, if things go wrong, if you find out the answer that the girl doesn't like you, that the boy doesn't like you, that, you know, like, shit, I just wrote the book, but there's like really no one liking it. You know the answer, and you still have plenty of time to shift and do something else. And I might not be the greatest YouTuber. I'm not the greatest, like speaker. My messages are not clear. I talk all over the place, but I'm happy that I did it because like otherwise I have tons of these ideas in my head of what I can do, what I can give. And I'm like, well, I could have done that, but I didn't. And a lot of times, you know, I look crappy. Hell, I look like all this stuff. I'm not the best looking person, but I want to give my message out. And so my looks, all the stuff that I didn't take a shower today, that I'm stopping most of my activities just to get it out, I'm feeling good. So if we're able to push ourselves to get out of the comfort zone, it's going to be better. And I just like urging you to do that. And I guess like looking back at this like whole like lustful being, if you can notice where does the shift happen, you can simply imagine this being actually trying to mess with your surroundings, where you see your goal clearly, but when you feel that like laziness hit you, that sleepy, tired thing hit you, focus on this creature, this being that wants to stop you, that will sort of like hits the wave. And you can sort of like imagine it like whether it is exploding or getting out of your field or whatever, just create a wall between you two, just create this energy shield. A lot of variations of what you can do, and hopefully this will help you out. But I'm just saying there's a whole lot we can do on a spiritual level, physical level to get better. And this whole lustful thing where we're being pushed back to our comfort zone, and we're never moving forward in life towards the things we really want to do and have. And if we can go there. Things will get much better. So yeah, that's my message today. Like I guess like I'm just talking all over the place, but I don't know. I'm feeling much better when I'm doing things, even though it's not comfortable, even though it's like not super easy. It's simple. But if I go for it, I'm feeling much better throughout the day. So hopefully you can sort of apply some of what I'm saying to your life, and hopefully things will get better on your end. That being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.